Hi kids, welcome to another Scratch class with your teacher, myself being John Uche, and today we're working on how to create a rocket ship space that involves the rocket ship firing at rocks or asteroids or meteors as they come by, as they float by in space. So come along with me as we have fun creating this game. The first thing you should do is to have your Scratch ready. As you're working on that, have your Scratch ready. This is the first step towards working on anything on the Scratch program. Because Scratch is the program that we use to create whatever we want to create. You see, originally the sprite here is the bobcat. We delete this, pick the backdrop we want as space. I would like to use stars this time. Then we go straight to picking our sprite. First sprite we'll be picking is the rocks. The next sprite we'll be picking is the rockets. There's no spaceship here, so we'll be using rockets. Next sprite we'll be taking is our button, which we use as our laser at the rocket of fire. Let's pick this because it's more keen. It's a laser. The next sprite we'll have to make it ourselves by going to sprites. I'm going to paint. You can click on text, click in here, game, game over. Now you can change the color of the sprite through the fill, but I prefer using it this way. Free your mouse, bring it in here, and drag it to whatever size you want it to be. So this is more, sorry. You can go back to our coding and separate each of the sprites. Let's have this here, this here, this here. Then we can make our variables. First variable we'll be making is scores or score. And the next variable we'll be making is speed. This determines the speed at which the rocket and the rocks will be coming. So click here. You can hide our speed and rename and start working on our rocket ship. We change the size to 50. Let's leave it at 50. 50 sounds better. And we can start giving our rocket ship the command it deserves, the command it needs to work. First, go into control, events. When flag is clicked, you can get from variables, you get your set variable to 0. Put it underneath, change it to score. Once that is done, you can go to set size from the looks. Set size 100%. You put it under here. Change it to 50. And once that is done, you go to motion and get your go to XY. Find it here. Place it underneath. And you get your repeat from controls. Get your repeat until you place it under the go to XY. You get another one, place it still underneath it, and you can go to sensing to find your touching mouse pointer, which you will change to rocks. Place this inside, lock it inside first repeat. Lock this inside first repeat. Inside first repeat. And once that is done, it gives the command, the code that if this happens, it should repeat it. Now we can continue. From sensing, you can still get your key space is pressed, which you will change to okay, let's bring it out here. Change it to up arrow. Up arrow. And you place it there. Place it here. Okay, let's remove this second repeat and have controls here. Have if then underneath. then have another if then underneath it. Good. Now we can take this key up arrow pressed and unlock it into the first if then, which is what we've done right here. And we can go to motion and get change y by 10. Change y by 10. Place it inside this. Then you can duplicate this key. Right click, duplicate, place it in here, change it to the down arrow. You can still duplicate this, put it in here, change the 10 to negative 10. Yes. You have this done. We can bring this new command, the double if, and put it inside repeat until, and let's find out what we've done so far. We can play. But before we do that, let's change the direction to 180. 180. Voila. And stop. Play. Up, down, up, down. So we've totally given our rocket ship the command to go up and down whenever we press it. Join us in the next class where we'll be working on our laser button or the laser to fire. See you then and keep scratching. Hi kids, welcome to the second part of our Scratch class where we are learning how to make an asphalt game. The first class had us putting our sprites, variables, and giving our rocket ship commands to go up and down whenever we want, just like this, up, down. Now we'll be looking at the button which we said we use as our laser that the rocket will fire. So let's go to the button. Now we rename the button. We'll rename the button as laser. Let's call it laser. Voila. So our laser. First things first, as usual, when flag is clicked from events, then we can go to looks and get set size. Looks. Set size is at 100 and we place block it into the green flag. We can also change this to change it to 10. Change it to 10%. We can still change this to 10 as well. Still change it to 10 as well. And we get from looks we get show. Still from looks we are going to get show, which will finish show and hide. We get hide, which will place under set size to 10. Let's have this away for space. So we have our when flag is clicked, set size to 10, hide, and we can go to events. We can go to events and get when space key is pressed. Keep it at another area of the coding. Go to we go to controls. Okay, we go to looks. Go to controls. Get when I start. Okay, create a clone of myself, which will lock. Create a clone of myself because it's we are talking about the button, so it's create a clone of the button or create a clone of which will lock in here, and then we can take when I start as a clone, we place it on a separate part of its own, still from controls, and then go to motion, go to X, Y, lock it under when I start as a clone, and change the X to minus 160, or negative 160, negative 160, 160. Then we go to sensing. While at sensing, can get backdrop of stage. Backdrop of stage. Try this, we get it and put it in a new area. Let's put this in, so we can work with it. First things first, you change stage to rocket ship. Change the X position to Y position. Change the backdrop to position of ship. Change it to position of ship. Position of rocket ship. Unlock it. Okay, Y position of rocket ship, so to say. Unlock it at the Y out of this. So therefore we have a go to X minus 160 and Y as Y position of rocket ship. The next thing we do is we lock show. Go to looks. Take show. Unlock it under XY. And unlock repeat until on the show. We get it from controls. Repeat until. Place this here. Then go to touching mouth pointer from sensing. Bring it this way so we can work on it. Which you will change to edge. Click on the drop down button. Change it to edge. Drag it and lock it on the repeat aspect. Then you go to move 10 steps for motion. Drag this. Put it inside the repeat. Move 10 steps. Yes. Put it in here. Stop this. And we get your delete clone. Controls. Delete clone. Controls. And put it outside the repeat until. So we get delete clone. Delete. So let me press this. Space key is pressed. So you see our rocket ship rapidly fires its laser buttons that we can fire at the rock. In the next class, we will look at how to make random rocks, make the rocks disappear when the laser is fired at them, and set scores. So thank you very much and keep on scratching. Hi kids, welcome to another Scratch class. It's me, John Richie. So I'll be looking at how to make an asteroid game where the spaceship fires rockets, fires lasers at blocks. We'll be working on rocket ship and button. So this time we'll be working on the blocks. We start by clicking on blocks and changing our size of our rock to 50. It's already on 50 here. Then the first thing you do is go to events, flag is clicked. You can attach from looks, you can attach show under it. Attach show under it. And you get your set size to 100 from looks. Place it under here. Change it to 50, just like we have 50 on the side of our rock. We can go to controls, get your repeat 10, which you lock under set size to 50. Change it to repeat 5. This means that the rocks will appear 5 times. Then you can go to create clone of myself. Create a clone of myself, which you can lock into the repeat 5. Yes, we have nailed this. Now we can shift this over here. And you drag your, when I create a clone of myself, the clone of myself being the rock. And you place this here. And create clone of myself. Okay, no. What you should drag is when I start as a clone, you have it here. Then when you get that, you go to operators, pick something. In operations, you pick random 1 to 10. Have this over here. This over here. After you've done this, then you go to your motion and get your go to X and Y, lock it into the start as a clone. You can change the X. You can change the X to 240. Let's say 240. 240 is preferable. Then you take the pick random, lock it into the Y. And you change the 1. You can change 1 to minus 2. You change the 1 to negative 150 and have the 10 as 150 or positive 150. Now you go to variables. You go to variables this time and you take variables. You get your set variables, which you put set variables. This one here, this one like this. They change the variables to set speed. Okay, we should have created. Let's pick up on this and solve the problem by creating this and this and creating another one like this. Good. This is perfect. And we can do this. Okay, we get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Go to set variables. This is under here. Change this. Click on the drop down. Change it to speed. Like this. And you can go to operators again and get another pick random one. This which will log into the 0. Change the 1 to negative 2 and change the 10. Change the 10 to negative 6. Okay, you get your repeat until. Where do we get it from? Controls. Get a repeat until. And you lock it under this. Clarity purposes. Go to your sensing. When touching mouse pointer, lock it into the repeat, and you change the touching mouse pointer into rocket ship. Rocket ship. Let's clarify by doing this. Doing this, we can clarity purposes. Come back to our rocks. We've locked the touching mouse pointer, which is now touching rocket ship, into our repeat until. Then you drag your change x by 10 from motion. Change x by 10, which you put into the repeat. This is perfect. This is perfect. Then from variables, get your speed, lock it into the 10. So now we have change x by 10. Then you can get your if then from controls. You get your if then from controls and lock it inside the repeat, just like this. If and then put it inside the repeat. And what do we do to this? We go to variables. From operators. Go to operators, sorry. Go to operators and you get if this is greater than this, lock it into the if, just like this, so that we can simply change the 50 to 220. 220. Then you go to motion and get X position. Sorry, motion, get X position and put this into this. This is the first step towards working on our Scratch Asteroid game rocks control. Join us in the next class as we work on the second and most important step. Thank you very much and keep on scratching. Okay kids, we are still on working on our asteroid game and we are still working on our rocks. We've started with the first half, complicated command for the rocks. So we are getting into the second half and I'm still your Scratch teacher John Uche. What do we do this time? We simply duplicate this. Duplicate this command. Okay, let's have this also. Let's do this. We duplicate the go to 240 y. Okay, go to x240 y, pick random minus 150 to 1 positive 150. We lock it inside this if and then, and as stop this, and as easy as that, we can go to controls, get another if and then still inside our repeat until. Okay, this time we go to sensing, touching. We can rename this as touching laser. So it's in here. And touching laser, and we can go to variables, change variable. Let's have it here. Change variable by 1. We click it to change score by 1, and we change the 1 to 100. Change the 1 to 100, and you put it inside the then of the if and then scratch. Okay, you can also duplicate this again. Stop this way, stop this here, get this delete. We can duplicate, go to x240 y, pick random negative 150 to positive 150, and put it still inside our if. Let's have this under the change score by 100. We can do this. So now we'll be working on our sounds. And how do we do that? We go to sounds, play sound pop. But I want the sound to be something fun. I do that by going to sounds. I can go to sounds, search for sound. What sound am I looking for? Magic spell. Click on this. It's the sound I'm looking for. I go back to my codes and take play sound magic spell, which I will put under my new go to x240 y, pick random 150 negative 150 150. Stop this. Don't know why the random is up and down. It's showing this here. So we can see what we're up against. Have this here, and finally, in the RB to make rockets, we can go to events. We go to events, we get broadcast message 1, which we have here, and we can change it to broadcast message as game over. But first, let's have a quick checker and rename this to game over. Now let's go back to our rocks. You can change this to broadcast message, new message, and we can type game over. So we take this and we put this. We take this and we put this under this. So kids, we've been working on our rocks so far, and this is the last piece of coding that we work on our codes on our rocks for Asteroid game. Join us in the next class as we work on how to put game over and put scores while you play the game. Keep on scratching and have fun. Hi kids, you're welcome to another Scratch class, and so far we have been learning about how to make an Asteroid game. We've done the major part of it. Now all that is left is to add the game over. I hope you'll be having fun, because I have too. I really have. Now that we have most of what we need to get complete, you simply go to the game over, and you change this to game over because normally it will be named sprite 1, but you can have already done that for you. By click here and type game over. That's how you get that done. And the first thing you do is to go to events. Go to events. When flag is clicked, you go to looks, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You take your height, place on that because we don't want it showing yet. You go to your events. When I receive game over from it, you add it to a new area. You put this in a new area. You attach, go to looks, you attach show under it. You take your play sound, you go to your sounds. You can get the loose sound, the sound of loss. That is when it shows game over, you play the sound of loss, the common asteroid sound for loss. You go to sounds, so like we did the other one, you click, do this. You search for lose. That is what the sound is called, L-O-S-E, lose. Click on this. You go back to your coding area, you take your play sound lose, and you attach it under the show. Then you attach stop all from control under play sound lose. You go to control, look for stop all. Put this under play sound lose all. And with that done, the last thing that is left to do is to take the codes. When I receive game over, stop other scripts in sprite. We can edit the all to other scripts in sprite. When I receive game over, show play sound and stop other scripts in sprite. We can simply duplicate this, have it at laser, put it at laser. Okay, let's go back to game over. I don't think we have this done. We can simply duplicate this. Okay, I see. Duplicate mistake was. Simply delete this by clicking on the code. Delete. So basically what we want to do is to have this when I receive game over, show play sound lose until done and stop on other sprites, other scripts sprites done on other aspects of the game, other sprites in the game. You simply go to roots. You can replicate this here too. Let's do this the longer way around. As we go to control, when I receive, go to events, when I receive game over, attach show under it, looks. Play sounds. Okay, we change the sound again. Let's search for loss. And search for lose. This might be a little complicated, but okay, we can drag this under here. And then we go to controls. We go to events. We can get our stop all from controls. In order to change it to other scripts, and we go to, let's duplicate this and see how we can do it. Okay, we go to events. Let's see if we go to hide looks. You can go to sounds, just like we did before. Go to sounds, search for this, lose, click on it, go back, play sound lose, go to control, stop or change it to stop all scripts and sprites, place this under this. We've done this for rocks, laser, rocket ship. Rocket ship, rocks. Okay. Yes. And delete this. There seems to be like an error. Let's delete it. But there's no problem with that. Once you have something like that, you simply delete the coding blocks so that we just have one command here. So we've done this for rocks, lasers, rocket ship, game over. Now let's do it for rocket ship. Simply go to when I receive game over. You go to looks. Go to looks. You put show under it. Let's have this here. Sounds. Finally, like we did before, you change the sounds. You search for sound lose. Yes, SD. Click on it. This is what we need. Go back, play sound lose. Put this under here. Get this way. And the last thing we add to it from controls is stop all scripts. So you see, we have the same command done to all of this. The reason we are supposed to do this is, as long as we are playing the game and the rocks touch the spaceship, it sends the same information to all other sprites that have different commands in them to stop whatever they are doing. Let us test this out by playing the game. Let's test it out. Let's see how it goes. Okay, we play this. It disappears. But let's find out what happens once the rock touches it. Voila. It also has the sound attached to it, which means while playing the game, once the rock touches the spaceship, you hear the sound of game over. And as you play, your scores increases and transcends and progresses as possible. So kids, I hope you had as much fun as I did creating this game. You can do this at your own convenience. You can have a boat in water. As fishes come towards it, you can shoot it. The game is yours to create, play, and have fun with your friends. So go back, do what you've learned, and keep on scratching. Thank you very much, and have fun. Yeah, that's it.